guys, welcome and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Elaina. Привет! I'm your Russian-American makeup and beauty addict. I usually do reviews and tutorials of affordable and expensive makeup from Walmart, various websites, drugstore. I tested my face, I'll pass the savings to you guys. In this video, I'm doing a review of the palette I was very excited about actually. This is a new Morphe palette collab with Avani Gregg for the Babs, and we're doing this look, very dramatic, very Elaina Glam. It has cake liners, it has glitter, and a lot of pretty beautiful, finely curated rainbow palette. So if you guys are interested, then keep on watching. Don't forget to subscribe and ring notification bell so YouTube notifies you of every new video upload. I upload 3 times a week on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and also go live almost every Monday. So do please follow me on Instagram, Twitter. The links are down in the description box, as well as my Patreon group. Like, comment, and let's get right into this. So I got this beautiful palette on March 23rd, that's when I ordered it, and I got this yesterday. Today is 31st, so I got it on the 30th. So it took 7 days exactly. So that's not bad actually, it's very decent. Morphe was a little slow on delivery, like a year ago, like they had trouble with it, but for now, it's normal. I mean, we're in the same city, but for some reason it ships, I'm in LA, Morphe is in LA, but it's probably the warehouse somewhere. I think it was like Pennsylvania, because I saw the shipping was from somewhere there. I'm like, interesting. Anyway, well, it's made in China, so it probably comes from there first. Okay, I'm being shady, but it's the tea. So there it is. It's beautiful. I love the whole packaging. The color story speaks to me. Purples, pinks, greens. I like this girl. I never heard of her. I looked her up on YouTube. She's got like a 1 million point something subscribers. Young girl, real pretty. And she did like a 10-minute short video with not many swatches, and I just looked it up because I was curious about the cake liners, because as you can see in the future, I pretty much BITCHED and mold the whole time I was using them, because the formula is very, very difficult to work with, very interesting in a bad way, but I think it could be worked with because I did make it work, but it was rough, so you'll see me struggle and cuss and stuff. Well, I censored myself, let's say that, but I think I could work with this. So because at the end you'll see the swatches right now. So I did all swatches on my arm off camera because it just takes time, and I did a little video with my phone like this against the wall so you can see true colors. I would say the colors swatch nicely. I do prime my hands and my arm first because you know, on a dry arm, dry skin, it doesn't really swatch correctly because you put eyeshadow on a primer. So I started to prime my arm, just use concealer. And I would say all of the shadows, the white is real white, very impressive. The light pale blue is real blue. The both eyeshadows are really, real nice, which is impressive because Morphe is a budget brand, and sometimes it's not the best quality, but collabs usually excellent. I would say all of the eyeshadows are excellent. The standouts, the glitter formula is like mind-blowing. It's literally swipes like liquid metal. I'm not doing it again because I put my finger into that so many times. I fingered the glitter many times. Yeah, the glitter, I would say it's probably, at this point, I would say it's the best glitter I've ever seen in my life. I don't know, I've seen a lot of palettes, but this one is so smooth, so creamy, so opaque, floored. They did great. So except for this 10 I'm struggling with, but it's an excellent palette. And especially with discount code I got a discount code on the same day on March 23rd. They had some kind of deal going on, 30% off, but I got it for like $19.50. I mean, from $30 already that inexpensive to $19.50, that was a great deal. So yeah, for the 20 shades plus 10 liners, it's great. I would say it's a great investment. If you guys need something colorful and rainbow, you don't have it yet, you're gonna see it applies excellent. The cake liners, I would say get something else easier to work with, unless you're into this formula. I'm just not familiar with it, and for me it was a struggle, extreme struggle. So without further ado, let's get into the application. By the way, can we appreciate the bangs? Do you like them or not? Comment below. I'm still kind of on the fence. I was inspired by Missa. She was inspired to me to go blonde, and I was inspired by her to get bangs. And this is extensions, of course. My own hair was actually almost as short here anyway, so it was not much to lose. So yeah, I'm kind of living. So let's get into it. Alright, zoomed in real close. So let's use a Revolution Ultimate Base Primer, already primed. I blocked my eyebrow tattoo and it's really chunky, so if you see any unblended eyeshadow, that's not my fault. Well, it is my fault. I blocked my eyebrow. Anyway, so I wanted to do the green and blue look because I wanted to start with pinks and purples immediately, but this is what I usually gravitate towards, and I wanted to try another color just for a change, just something different. So I decided to go with the blues and greens, as if I never go for blues and greens. So Mama Slave, and then Seaweed. So we're gonna start working with these two colors. I'm gonna start with a small brush just to map it out, and I just picked my cat hair off of it because of course he's everywhere. Spectrum 827. My baby is sleeping on the couch right now. That's why you don't see him. He's sleeping like a baby. Baby sleeping like a baby. Anyway, you know what I mean. So I'm going into that deep green eyeshadow. And Teresa is going to be very happy. And Tia is going to be very happy too. So just mapping it out. I'm doing that very dramatic look. I'm going to try to map it out so they both look the same. Hopefully. I'm just pressing it in and making a line. This part, of course, doesn't have to be perfect because you'll clean up under. So I'm taking a small Morphe brush, AM562, and I'm gonna blend the edges. So this was a clean brush on the other eye. Now it's a little dirty, but it still does the job. Just to smudge the edge a little bit, so it's gonna be easier to blend with the lime green, because that lime green was the decisive factor. Because it's hard to make those, and I feel like a lot of brands, when they make lime green, it's lackluster, it doesn't have pigmentation and kind of falls off. But when it's pigmented and it just pops, it's the most satisfying thing. So just slightly blend it. I'm going to go with a small brush, the Jets Up 230, Luxe Petite. It's already covered with it from the other eye. And we go into that Seaweed. That's a color I showed you in the beginning. So again, I'm going to pack it. I'm going to start pressing it. Do you see how beautiful this is? And it blends into the other immediately by itself, pretty much. Morphe did a good job with this, actually. I'm taking a little bit white on the same brush, Inaudible Noise, and I'm gonna just add it a little bit to the lime green, just to tap it on the brow bone. I haven't highlighted the brow bone in the other eye yet, and it was kind of an afterthought. I think I'm just gonna use a regular highlighter when I do my face, because the highlighting shades on this palette are lacking. But this palette is about mattes, I can see. It's all about mattes. So I'm taking a pretty large Q-tip first with my micellar water, just to clean up some fallout under here. And I'm gonna try to make the shape similar, and then I'm gonna use this tiny Q-tip, my recent discovery from Amazon. I'm gonna make the line neater. I find the tiny Q-tips, they're very convenient, but they don't remove a lot of fallout. So I need to remove the most of it with this big one, and then just go with the small one for the rest of it. So now that I cleaned on the eyelid, we're going to the most interesting part, and let me zoom you out for this before we zoom in, because you gotta see this. So this is where the things get a little bit tricky. So I'm just cleaning my brush now. So I'm going to the water, and I'm very familiar with cake liners. I have a lot of them. They usually create this kind of a cakey consistency. That's why the cake liners, and you can literally see like the goopy texture. I'm gonna show the comparison. Well, this is something I have never seen before, so I'm gonna show you on camera. So my wet brush, I'm gonna go to white. So do you see this? It dries immediately, and it dries in the palette, so it does not create any cake consistency in here to dip into. So the whole point of the cake liner is you dip your brush, and there is already a puddle of, you know, something, you know, how to explain it, like a creamy texture, so you can easily creamily apply. Well, this is dry, like powder. It's literally like chalk. Like, what the F is this? Morphe, what the F is this? Like, how is this a cake liner? It's already dry, literally in a second. And the brush is dry in a second. So I'm gonna show you on my eyelid, and then I'm gonna show you another cake liner from just a regular, another brand. Actually, I'm gonna show a white one, what it should look like. Like, let me zoom in. So I'm having a problem here with this, because I had really good ideas. I mean, it still came out alright, but the cake liner, oh, it looks so bad up close, so you could be gagging. So I'm gonna re-dip my brush into water. I'm dipping into white, and of course it's already dried the house. So let's go here. So you see, it's kind of like some places come out pigmented, some places come out not, and it's very, very crusty. And if you say, well, Elaina, you're not using enough water. Okay, I'm gonna use more water and make it a little more watery. Now let's go watery. Do you see that? So if you use too much, well, not too much, more water to make it more liquid, you have nothing. If you don't use a lot of water and you make it more chalky, it's literally like chalk and it crusts. You know what, just out of curiosity, or like for your entertainment, I'm gonna leave this empty, and I'm gonna go with a good liner. I'm gonna show what it should look like. So I tried my best off camera just to kind of make it a little more pigmented, but look how crusty this is. This is the worst cake liner I ever tried in my life. So this is just an indie brand, just like Midas Cosmetics, never heard of them. Teresa told me about them, I got it. Very inexpensive too, the whole palette of pastels. So I'm gonna go with a clean brush, and I'm going to show you the consistency. So I'm just swirling. Add some more water. I'm gonna swirl. I don't know if you can see this, but you'll see a little paste there. So now I have workable paste that is not drying. It's actually still wet. There is nothing dry in the palette. So I'll take this brush. It doesn't matter, just a small brush, liner brush, and I'm gonna go. Do you see the difference? Like, Morphe, how do you F up the cake liner? I mean, anybody can do cake liner, seriously. Like, what the hell did you do? I'm really upset about this. So let's continue with this shit to show. And I'll dip another brush. And we're gonna go for another poo-poo liner. This time it's a blue poo-poo liner, and you'll see again the receipts. Look at this, SHIT. Look at that. There is no texture here, there is no mixture. It dries immediately in the brush. So I did what I could with the liners. I cleaned them more or less. It still looks like SHIT. The blue one, for some reason, is better texture than the white one. The white one was the worst. Yeah, so that's a big disappointment. But maybe, just to give it a benefit of a doubt, maybe I'm just not familiar with the Morphe formula and how to use it. If you guys know how to use it, if you had success with using it, please let me know in the comments. Because right now I'm thinking it's the worst SHIT I've ever seen. But the rest of the palette actually is incredible quality, so watch. So I'm gonna go now into this two. So I started with this two. Now I'm gonna go into this two. Star Emoji, no, that's I Cry, right? Yeah, that's called I Cry, and this is called And Funny. I don't know what the names, I hate the names, it's hard to understand. Anyway, so I'm going with the Spectrum A12 brush. That's a small size brush, and we're going into, it's a very dense brush, it's actually very good to pack. We're going to pack outer corner. So right away, this is a good, you know why I went for these cool tones also? Because they're hard to formulate, so if they did do a good job with them, it means it's a good quality palette. So far, the eyeshadows are excellent, actually. I have no complaints. But the cake liners, oh my god. Like, how can you miss so much? Like, one is a hit and one is a miss. So I'm not going all the way to the liner because I'm gonna use the separate brush to make it nice and neat. I'm just kind of just pressing it here and going to the low lash line too, because we're gonna clean up later. So I'm just gonna press it in here too. That's a very pretty bluish purplish color. No problems with it, not patchy at all. So that's the big improvement from the cake liners. Alright, so I'm just kind of placing it over here, blending out a little bit. So now we're gonna go for the bright blue. I'm excited about that one. This is beautiful, beautiful blue. I'm going with the fluffier brush because we're gonna blend it out. And this is Spectrum B11. So we're going to the end phony, whatever that is. I'm pressing it on top of the dark blue and blending it out. And again, I'm not touching the line because I want to make it neat, so I'm just going right before the line. And we're gonna blend the hard edges later. Very pretty, again, no problems. You know, when I started this look, I said to myself, I'm just gonna make it wearable. I'm not gonna go all the way down to my temples. And here we are. Back to the usual. But you know, this is a new palette. I felt very excited and I wanted to go to my go-to. So if you guys are watching it and you're saying, Elaina, why don't you make it more wearable? Well, you don't have to extend it. You can just bring this light up right here, lift it up and finish it there. There is no reason to be all the way out. I just want it to be dramatic, but you could just make it like this and there you have it. That's your look. So you can make the same look but more wearable. Easy. But just let me have my fun. Let me have my funky fun. So now I'm gonna take back to the, actually yeah, I'm gonna take the first brush, where did it go? And go in between blues, the dark and the light. Tap in between. I'm gonna blend this here. See? Already getting rid of the hard edges. Just trying to make it even. I think the other eye, the dark blue, went a little further out. So might as well add a little more. So my husband is coming back today. He went for a trip with the rich people. Well, if you don't know, he's a jet pilot. So he works for a bunch of older retired. Some of them retired, some of them still working, rich people. One of them, 78-year-old brother, was having a birthday party in Cabo. Cabo is like a small island. There is nothing to do there. Just a bunch of rich people, retirement. The other one that lives there permanently is a 90-year-old. So I'm taking a small brush. So he flies them back and forth, and they make him stay there for like days to wait and bring them back. So of course, I mean, his job, I can't complain, but still. So he's a private pilot, a jet pilot, right? But all those jet pilots, they have to clean the crapper. Believe it or not, the lavatory needs to be cleaned. And I don't think I explained it in my previous video, but the funniest part is that he says, well, since we got the cat, Now you got all these brilliant ideas. So he's like, I'm buying a liner bag, or like a trash bag. I'm gonna fill it with a kitty litter and make them go into the litter box. I'm dead. I'm like, the bougie rich people are gonna go into the cat litter box, and I'm like, are you gonna make them dig? Make them cover up the poop and say, all right, good boy, you did good. Now dig it. I'm just having so much fun with this. Just the whole idea of them going to a litter box, but it's brilliant. It's easy for him to clean up. He doesn't have to deal with that poop and pee. All he has to do is just take the trash bag out. So you see what I'm doing? Small brush, I'm just making a line really neat here. Yeah, so you went there when, like Saturday, I think. Yeah, he left on Saturday. He was supposed to come on Friday. But one of them had to come back early, right? So one of the passengers, like a friend of the family. So he was supposed to bring him today. So then the guy changes his mind and he says, well, no, I'm not coming back. Well, he's still coming back. So they sent my husband back empty with no passengers. I'm like, why did you even stay there? Could have just come home. Those people never can decide what they're gonna do. But the good news, I'm getting him home early. Instead of Friday, it's Wednesday today. So baby and mama are gonna see daddy today. Baby's gonna be so excited. You can skip this part if you're not interested to hear about my cat. I'm just blending. So baby loves both parents. That's my cat Shangela. And Shangy always greets Papa, jumps on his back and grooms his hair, licks his hair, butts his head. This cat is the most loving kitty ever. Alright, enough with the cats. So now we're gonna do, let's see. So this eye, I think I made a little bit of a mistake. I put the glitter first, but I think I'm gonna put the glitter last. I'm gonna put black first and the liner. So the black brush, I'm gonna take this motor brush, just a small pencil brush. So going into the black, and that's the only black that's on the palette, except for the poop liner. So I'm gonna go into the hidden, and that is a decent black. This is like hallelujah. We got the winner here, so you'll see. So black applied on top of the other eyeshadow sometimes give you a little hairy situation. And look at that, look. Ah! I am excited. Morphe did well. I mean, with this eyeshadow palette, look at this formula. This black is the blackest black. It's like butter. It blends like a dream. If only they didn't F up with the cake line. Look at this. It's like the easiest black blend ever and goes on so beautifully. I'm really impressed with this. Morphe, you did excellent with this. But why did you have to F it up so much? I'm still not over. I'm gonna be bitching about this the whole video, about the cake liners. Because this was my excitement. I was excited the most about cake liners in this palette. Oh, girl, snatched. The house. Alright. So I'll take a small tiny Q-tip and we're gonna try to match these green lines. So I wanted to put the green cake liner and I had a kind of a vision, so to make this triangle out of green liner, like a cat liner but with green. But now that I see that the liners are not good, I cannot possibly apply it over the black eyeshadow. It's just not gonna work. So I'm just gonna make this line here. So this tiny thing, I'm gonna try to clean it. So I'm just gonna go with the dirty one first. And then I'm gonna go with the clean one because they don't pick up a lot. That's the only thing. So try to match these two eyeballs. Now let's do the star of the show, the glitter. I'm going to use a flat brush. It's a Morphe brush actually. And I'm gonna dip right into the glitter. I'm not even gonna use any primer except for I have base. Revolution paste, and this is a very good glitter. So this is the one that actually I'm happy about. Like, everything about this palette is excellent, except for the bottom two rows. Look at that. Look at the payoff. Dang. Morphe, you did excellent. This is a beautiful glitter formula. It's like a liquid silver. It goes on so smoothly. It literally, like, I'm on awe how well this works. So I used the eyelashes from Amazon. I'm gonna show you the rest of them. I'm gonna try to remember to link them. These are like crazy looking eyelashes. They're beautiful too. I trimmed them a little bit, you know, that kind of like I point cut them here because there was a big piece sticking out. But other than that, they're pretty amazing. And I put in the waterline ColourPop in the color Rents and pretty much just cleaned up. So let me do the base off camera. I'm really happy with it actually. I might take my complaints about the cake liners slightly back because I found a way to use them on my hands when I was doing swatches a little better. So I'll have to play with them again. Maybe I'll just find a way to work with them. If you guys are interested what foundation I'm using, I'm using Morphe foundation to go over the Morphe video, and my skin looks flawless. I don't know how, but somehow the old Morphe formula works perfectly. I literally, like, I see no flaws. It does not fall into any lines, maybe a little bit, but everything falls in here in my skin. Like, I have a line here. But everything else, there is no dryness. I just moisturize really well. And sometimes I use oil-based primer to get a really nice feel on the skin, and it never gets cakey. I'm just playing with my bangs. It never gets cakey or dry. It looks perfect to me. I don't know, my skin is better probably. I've been really moisturizing, really using a lot of treatments, and I think I'm not as dry as I used to be. So Morphe Concealer, Morphe Foundation, beautiful. I'm so impressed with them now. It stinks like paint, but it works so well. And for the lips, I'm wearing these two pale nudie lipsticks. It gives you that really vamp look. I love pale lips sometimes, especially with a look like this. So this is both Wet n Wild. This one is Nudie Patootie matte, and this one is glossy. And this is Caught You Bare Naked. So yeah, and the Morphe lip liner. So that's a major thing that I wanted to mention. And also I'm using Natasha Denona highlight, which is like everything is budget, and this is the bougie, but that's from Natasha Denona palette. My friends gifted me, and the rest is just budget friendly. So here's the finished look. How do you like them bangs? Missa, can I say the B word? B stole my look. Do you remember Joan Rivers and the Fashion Police? The segment B stole my look. Well, Missa stole my blonde hair first, so I just followed. I have bangs once in a while, if you're interested to know, but usually I go back to no bangs look. But I'm kind of feeling this. So what do you guys think? I think maybe, just maybe, I was a little bit too rough on those liners, and I hated the texture, but it is a very different formula of these liners. I've never seen such thing. I was thinking it's complete as HIT, but as you can see in the beginning of this video, which was the end of my filming, so how I film, I first do one eye off camera, and then I do the other eye on camera, then I do swatches after I finish my makeup look, and then I'll see at the end, I tell you what I think. So after I just did the swatches, I think there is a way to make them work, but they're very difficult to work with. But I think there is a way to make them work so. But I still like other formulas better, so just my 2 cents here. So I think the eyeshadows are excellent, phenomenal. This is one of the best Morphe palettes, I would say. I tested all of the eyeshadows, I swatched them all, I blended them all, and it's excellent. The black is excellent. The gray, even the gray is really gray, like a neutral gray. I'm really impressed with that eyeshadow palette. Everything is extra super pigmented. Even this shadow, the light blue, is very pigmented, which is hard to do. impressed. They're really impressed. This is an excellent palette. Oh, and stand out, the silver glitter. You guys, this is like a liquid metal. It's so soft. It's like magical, beautiful glitter, and the other one too. So yeah, I'm very impressed. So Morphe did well on overall, except for the cake liner so-so, but I would recommend it just for the eyeshadows alone. It's excellent, and maybe I'll take some work with the formula and maybe I'll figure it out. But so far, I recommend it, like, you know, most of this part. But if you guys, you can get a discount code. I got a discount code in the email. I think I got like a 30% off. So I went for it because it was really inexpensive. So it's really pretty overall. The color story is really nice. It makes a lot of sense. It's a pretty rainbow palette, I would say, but it's a real nice one. And then the cake liners, everything goes together well. You know, if the formula was a little better here, it would be excellent. So this is it. Let me wipe my finger off. I'm really dirty right now. My cat is still sleeping like a baby. And it's already 8:13 p.m. My husband is coming home soon. I need to wrap this up because I'll need to feed my boys and myself. So this is the end of the video. Let me know what you guys think. Did you get this? And did you like this? And what do you think about cake liners? I'm very curious what your opinions about cake liners are. And please subscribe to my channel. I upload 3 times a week on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and I also go live every Monday. So follow me Instagram, Twitter. The links are down in the description box. Huge thank you to all my patrons. You guys are amazing. Check out my Patreon group. It's linked below as well. So thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!